Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction horror film, The Color Out of Space. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. It all begins in a dark forest with tall trees and a place where only a few people live. A girl who wants freedom from their place thinks that she can be free by doing some rituals. One morning, she performs a ritual near the lake, but gets interrupted by a man who is new to the place. He addresses himself as a hydrologist, and he has a task in examining the water in that place. After being interrupted by the hydrologist, the girl fixes her things and immediately goes home. There are only two houses in their area. One is Gardner's house, which is the family of the girl, and the other one owned by a weird electrician man. The father always cooks food for their family, but unfortunately, the father's cooking skills aren't good enough to satisfy his family. While eating dinner, the mother tells her husband to get some wine on their secret underground, to partner on the dish her husband cooked for them. After eating, all the kids go to bed, while their parents have some hormone game. While the night is getting deeper, there is a strange movement in their place, like an earthquake happening in their house. The younger brother of the girl wakes up, and he moves out of his room to check what is happening outside. After a while, there is a strange noise, and a pink-colored light that covers their whole house. And suddenly, a loud blast is heard by everyone. They are all awakened by the incident, and the parents find out that their youngest son is traumatized by the incident. The father and the eldest son rush outside to check what happened, and they find out that it is a meteor that fell on their front yard. The next morning, the father reports the incident to the mayor, and the sheriff and the authorities arrive at their house to check the meteor. The hydrologist comes to their house to check what happened, but his intention is to investigate and interview the people regarding the usage and quality of their water. The father tells him to go to the house of the weird electrician to find more, and his eldest son accompanies him to the electrician's house. Upon arriving at the house, the hydrologist is offered a Java drink from the weird man. The hydrologist refuses to drink it because of how it looks. Also, he recently found out that the water he was offered to drink is greasy and has oil substances. The hydrologist tells him that he doesn't smell anything. So the hydrologist explains that the color might be from the rust of the water taps, and he needs to examine the water and bring it to his tent with his testing stuff. The eldest son of the Gardners tells the hydrologist that they are having problems with the water, but their father always tells them the water is as fresh as water. A storm begins, and the lightning is really powerful, and it has shades of pink. While the lightning strikes, the girl is outside their house, believing that the lightning is because of her rituals, and so she is amazed. She is followed by her father outside, and her father tells her to go inside the house. But while talking to his daughter, they find that the lightning is striking the meteor that fell on their front yard. It is seen striking so hard at the meteor, and they hear an extremely loud noise from it. On the other hand, the hydrologist is testing the water he got from the weird man's house. He finds out that their water is severely contaminated. Right after that, while he is resting and listening to the radio, there is a static sound that interrupts the radio. Suddenly, someone calls him on his phone, but upon answering, it is just a static sound and no one is answering him on the other line. Then he feels something is near his tent. So he stands up and uses his flashlight to find out what it is. He finds a shadow moving in the forest, a shadow that has a shade of pink, and all of a sudden, his car begins to start without anyone inside. As a result, he is shocked, and he moves towards his car to check what is happening. And then the car just stops when he reaches it. The following moment, the radio begins to play music, scaring the shit and hormones out of him. The mother and the father look for the meteor in their front yard, and they realize that it is missing. The mother is happy that the meteor is gone, and her husband also celebrates because he sees that his plants are now bearing fruits. The following moment, the reporters come to their house to make a coverage of the incident that happened, and eventually, they report it as UFO sighting. While watching the whole interview on the television, the father is mad about the outcome of the news report, and he says the words used by the reporters were twisted. His children are just laughing about his reaction while his wife is preparing dinner. The mother cracks the egg first and sees blood. Right after that, she chops the carrots. While she is chopping, the father is busy getting mad at the reporters on the television about the meteorite incident and asks their youngest son to check on their mother in the kitchen. While on his way to the kitchen, the son sees his mom chopping her own fingers, with two already chopped off. Hurriedly, he shouts and runs to his father. He tells his father that her mother is chopping her fingers. So the father quickly runs towards his wife, and he hugs her to stop her. The mother cries, and explains that she didn't know what she was doing. She adds that she was out of her mind, and she feels sorry for it. Right after that, the couple plans to rush to the hospital to attend to the mother's medical needs, leaving the eldest son alone at home to be responsible for his two siblings. The following day, the eldest son is busy on his duty feeding the alpacas. After that, he goes inside their house. Then his sister goes outside, calls him, and tells him that he needs to feed the alpacas. The sister says the alpacas are eating in their front yard. The eldest son explains to his sister that he already fed the alpacas, and his sister tells him to look at the alpacas in their yard. Frustratingly, he insists that he already fed the alpacas, so the sister instructs her brother to just put back the alpacas in the barn. The following moment, she notices their youngest brother whistling in their front yard and asks what he is doing. Her brother answers that he is talking to someone in the well. The sister is confused because no one is in the well, but the brother keeps on whistling. The moment after, she hears an eerie sound while she is on her way inside their house. So she looks back and realizes that the sound is coming from the well. When she gets inside their house, the eerie sound continues, and she feels ill. After that, her father calls, but unfortunately their line is being interrupted by a static sound. As a result, they could not understand each other, so they decided to drop the call. The youngest brother is still outside and draws monsters and aliens in his notebook while looking at the well. Then he goes near the well and sees a pink egg that eventually hatches into a big pink fly. Then it goes out of the well. He is looking at the fly, and the fly looks back at him as if it is examining him. Then the fly flies out in their backyard. Inside their house, the sister is watching the TV, and the signal gets interrupted. The television also has a static sound, while their wall clock is moving fast. While she is doing the dishes, she is saying to herself that she shouldn't puke, because she is cleaning the knife that her mother used to cut her fingers. While cleaning the knife, their water becomes red, and she begins to feel dizzy. Then the water overflows up to the floor, and she runs into the restroom because she could not handle the situation. She reaches the restroom and hurriedly pukes inside the toilet bowl. The following moment, the hydrologist knocks on their door, and the sister faces the hydrologist. He notices that she doesn't look well, and he tells her that there is a contamination in their water. The hydrologist adds that he doesn't know what exactly is wrong, and he needs to do more tests in the laboratory. So he instructs her not to drink the water. Then she goes immediately inside their house. While the hydrologist is on his way out, he sees the youngest child. He asks the kid what he is doing outside, and the kid answers that he is playing with his friends in the well. Then the kid laughs hard, but the hydrologist cannot see anyone with him playing. After going to Gardner's house, he comes to the weird man's house to inform him that he shouldn't drink the water. Surprisingly, he finds the man kneeling on the floor, listening to his own invented telephone. Then the weird man gives the phone to the hydrologist, and he tells him to listen to the shattering sounds in the telephone, and the hydrologist observes the eerie sounds. The weird man says that the sound is from the people under the floor, specifically the aliens. But the hydrologist does not believe him, and he tells the weird man that it might be a geothermal activity. But the weird man keeps insisting that those are aliens. The weird man points out what's happening around: the static sounds that interrupt calls, radios, televisions, the sudden moisture in the atmosphere, then the sudden fast and slow of time. But the hydrologist still doubts that and says that he would just bring more equipment to test. Then the hydrologist promises that he is going back tomorrow morning. Before he leaves, he instructs the weird man to drink bottled water. Finally, the father and the mother are now going home from the hospital. While on their way to their house, they see a weird cat-like creature that scares them both. And right away, the mother contacts her children to check if they are fine. But unfortunately, no one answers the phone. The youngest child is still outside the house, sitting in front of the well. And then suddenly, there's a pink light that brightens up the barn, and it seems to hypnotize their house dog. So the bad-tempered dog runs to the barn. Right after, an eerie sound is heard after the dog enters the house. While the sister is inside the room of the eldest brother, she looks at the monitor of his personal computer, and she sees that it is static. The computer also has a pink color, and it even produces a breathing sound. Then the sister is also hypnotized by the sound, but luckily, she is interrupted when her brother barges into the room and asks what she is doing in his room. And then his brother tells her that it was just daytime when he left the house, and when he goes back, it's already dark. The siblings are both confused about what is going on. Suddenly, they hear a call and hurriedly run downstairs to answer it. But to their surprise, it is only a static sound that interrupts them. Right after that, the electricity goes on and off. They panic because they realize that their youngest brother is still outside the house. When they run outside to find their brother, they see their parents are already there. The daughter, who does rituals, finds a book of spells that she believes would save her and her family from what is happening in their place. The following moment, she performs a ritual by pricking her skin, and she draws symbols all over her body using a cutter. Then blood is seen all over her room while she performs the ritual. While their father falls asleep, he watches the TV with a static signal and a pink color screen. Then the youngest brother goes out and finds that his eldest brother is outside too. The older brother is just sitting in their front yard. Then he invites his older brother to go to their barn. When they reach the barn, the eldest brother finds their alpacas transformed into a weird alien-like creature. As a result, they run fast outside the barn, because the alpacas are running after them. On their way out, their mom runs toward the youngest child, and they stop when they are caught by the weird alien-like alpacas. After a massive pink light that covers the mother and the youngest son, the father and the eldest son see that the mother and the youngest son merge into something unexplainable, and their bodies melt and are combined as one. They are both in pain and crying, but the father could not do anything to help them. So he asks the eldest son to call 911 for help. But unfortunately, the phone signals are still interrupted by the static signal. Then the daughter comes down from her room after her ritual. She screams in shock at what happened to her mother and brother. The following moment, the father tries to start their car to transport his wife and son into the hospital. But unfortunately, the car does not start. Right after that, he goes back to their house, but the mother and the youngest son are still screaming and crying in pain because of the sunlight. As a result, the father decides to put them in the loft to avoid the sunlight. After securing them inside the room, he plans to deal with the weird alien-like alpacas in the barn. The father gets his rifle loaded with bullets. Eventually, he proceeds to the barn and shoots the alpacas one by one, thinking that it would end the dilemma that they are experiencing. After shooting the alpacas, he goes inside the house to see his family, and he informs them that he has already handled the alpacas. On the other hand, the daughter and the eldest son are planning to escape their house, but they fail because the horse that they will use runs away from them. The moment after, the eldest son jumps inside the well, thinking that their dog is there seeking help. But unfortunately, it is just a trap, and he gets caught by the pink light inside the well. Then the sister is caught by her father, and she is locked up with their mom and brother in the loft. On the other hand, the hydrologist suspects that something weird is happening in Gardner's house, so he tells the sheriff to go with him to investigate. Upon reaching the house, they immediately go into the loft because they hear the screaming of the daughter. Right after opening, they see what happened to the mother and the son, and they are about to hurt the daughter. Surprisingly, the father suddenly appears, and he shoots his wife and youngest son with his rifle and eventually kills them. After the incident, the hydrologist carries the daughter to the sheriff's car. But upon reaching the car, the father tries to shoot the hydrologist. And with a quick reflex, he is halted by the sheriff with a gunshot. As a result, the father is severely hurt, so his daughter immediately rushes towards him. Then the daughter tells the hydrologist that she will never leave her family. She adds that she would never leave their place because it is their home. She then goes to the well and transforms into an alien-like being. Suddenly, there is a portal that opens from the sky. Some bizarre images flashes, and the whole place warps. The movie ends with a blast, and their whole place is gone. Everything turns into ash, and the hydrologist is the only one that survives. The others that what happened in that place could never be explained by human science. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.